600 points, and with 600 points you are guaranteed 1 or 2 months, or in the next draw you can get a nomination or an ITA invitation to apply for an international, and you are looking for a Canadian province which has a higher chance of giving you permanent residency on your first try, or which has an easy PR pathway, then this video is for you. If you are equally looking for a possibility to migrate to Canada, then after your studies 6 months later you can then get a PR or get a permanent residency, or after like 1 year you can then apply and get your permanent residency, or looking for cheaper options to get PR in Canada, then this video is equally for you. In this video I'm going to talk about some things that you need to know about this particular province. I would equally talk about 2 schools that you should take a look at, and I will talk about the tuition fee, the requirements, career options, and of course so many other important things that you need to know about these schools. They are actually colleges and not universities. The reason I decided to talk about this is because international students make a lot of mistakes, but another thing you need to consider as an international student watching me right now is, if you are moving to Canada, you should know that not all Canadian provinces would give you PR easily. You should equally know that not all Canadian colleges or universities are affordable. Some are expensive. Now let's take a look at this. I'll be talking about 2 colleges in Saskatchewan. Well, I will call it Saskatchewan. My pronunciation may not be correct, but please bear with me. I'm not a Canadian citizen. So I will be talking about these 2 colleges in Canada. There are a lot of provinces in Canada. Let me say mostly the Atlantic region, provinces in the Atlantic region. If you migrate to such provinces, it is always very easy and sometimes less stressful to get your permanent residency. Unlike if you live in Ontario or other provinces which are very crowded and so complicated when it comes to acquiring a PR. Now, there are equally other provinces in Canada that have PR pathways, like pathways you can follow, while others do not. For example, Saskatchewan have provincial nominee programs, and they equally have other pathways I'm going to be talking about that you can use them and get your PR in Canada. The first one I will be talking about is the Canadian Experience Class. If you move to Saskatchewan, then you can actually go through the Canadian Experience Class to get PR. If you want to read more about this, about the Canadian Experience Class, please check more on IRCC. The second options you need to understand that also happens in Saskatchewan, or that you can get if you migrate to Saskatchewan, is what we call SIMP, Saskatchewan Immigration or Immigrant Nominee Program, anyone. But the key factor here is, under this particular nominee program, there are 2 programs available. One is International Skilled Worker, which is for you and I, everybody who is not a Canadian citizen or who doesn't live in Saskatchewan at the moment can apply for this particular one. That is the case where you apply as you are a skilled labor or laborer, or you are an international who is skillful, and you are looking for ways to apply for PR in Canada. You can now look at the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program to see the requirements, to see the jobs available. Then you launch your application. But remember, all those jobs that have no codes around the inside the Saskatchewan nominee programs, you have to follow them. If yours is not there, then you don't qualify. It is the same thing like in Manitoba. If you do not have a relative that live in Manitoba, you are not qualified to apply for a Manitoba nominee program. I hope you understand. So this is for internationals. Then the other one is called Saskatchewan Experience Class. Saskatchewan Experience Class is only for those who have lived in Saskatchewan, for those who have studied in Saskatchewan and are currently living and working in Saskatchewan. They can actually apply through this route and of course get their permanent residency. Now, let's take a look at some of the schools that are available in Saskatchewan. Like I said, I have just 2 schools on my list. And please, if you are new to the channel, my name is Milton Fonkwa. Thank you so much on stopping by. On this channel, we talk about travel abroad, immigration, study abroad opportunities, anything that has to do with anything that can better one's life. I talk about it. I help internationals. Please, if you need a one-on-one consultation with me, book from the video description box. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, thank you so much for subscribing. Please click the subscribe button, subscribe, and make sure you like this video as well. If you do, YouTube is going to recommend to many more people. And please click the share button and share to a neighbor. Thank you so much. So let's take a look at the first school, which is called Saskatchewan Polytechnic. Now, Saskatchewan Polytechnic is like a polytechnic, which is very okay. If you study in this school, you are going to end up getting your PGWP, which is the postgraduate work permit. After you get the postgraduate work permit, you can now just go directly to apply or go into the pool to apply for what we call express entry, right? You are going into the express entry pool if you are an international. But if you don't like, why not? You can follow the other pathways. Like I said, it is going to take you just 6 months after graduation, and you are getting your PR in Saskatchewan. It's very flexible. People get it a lot, like Saskatchewan, New Brunswick, Manitoba, British Columbia. But in places like Ontario, this is pretty difficult. I really don't know why. Maybe because of population and maybe because of who is producing or going through the files. I think it should be because of population and maybe migration policies. But again, these provinces, Saskatchewan and the other Atlantic provinces, they are looking for internationals to reside in those provinces. So if you have a chance, immigrate to these places immediately. I hope you understand. So if you are to study at Saskatchewan Polytechnic, they have a lot of programs you have to check. But when you go to the program website, make sure 1, you check the tuition fee. 2, you check their requirements of the program or requirements of the program. 3, you check career options of the program so as to be able to defend yourself during your visa application. Because remember, you have to apply for the visa, right? And you have to defend yourself and tell the visa officer why you deserve the visa. So checking the career options of the program you want to apply to may help you a lot. And do not forget, tuition fee is very, very important. Then in this college, you can study certificates, you can study diploma programs, you can study postgraduate diplomas, you can study bachelor's degree programs. Yes, it's possible to study bachelor's programs in colleges. And of course, programs include engineering, they have social science programs, they have arts, they have sciences, and a whole lot. If you are looking at nursing or anything medical fields, people in the medical area, please check Saskatchewan Polytechnic. I have checked it once and I think I saw a lot of medical programs. I think practical nursing and some nursing related courses like that. So please verify the school website very well. That's the first school. The second school is called Northwest College, and with Northwest College you can also study in Saskatchewan, and after you finish, you are going to get what is called PGWP, which is the postgraduate work permit. And if you get the postgraduate work permit, you can now enter the express entry pool, create a profile, go in. And because when you create this profile and go in, automatically you are going to get 600 points. And with 600 points, you are guaranteed, or your position might just be guaranteed that after 2 months, 1 or 2 months, or in the next draw, you can get a nomination or an ITA invitation to apply for your permanent residency. So check Northwest College as well. They have a lot of programs as well. But if you are looking at a variety of programs, many, go to Saskatchewan Polytechnic. And also understand it may not be that cheap like New Brunswick Community College, or maybe like other colleges like this college in Newfoundland and Labrador, College of North Atlantic, or maybe NSCC in Nova Scotia. So please put all of this into consideration and understand that when you are trying to study in Canada, you should have money. You need to have money. Make sure you look at the options, the tuition fee deposits, how much you are going to pay at the initial stage before visa application, and how the distribution is going to look like. Do not apply for a program that will cause you issues when it comes to proof of funds, because proof of funds in Canada nowadays is very important during visa application. And until you apply to these programs, you can now get an offer letter, pay your tuition, then you start the visa application. With the visa application now, you can then apply and move to Canada. When you study in this particular province for 1 year, 2 years, you graduate, you get your PGWP, then you carry on to PR and citizenship. I hope this video helps you. Till we meet again in another episode. Bye bye.